Hello and welcome everyone, a new episode of the Score Sheet. We do have a very rich episode as we are going to speak about the number of sports, the number of games and the number of achievements, and they were all made by Egyptian athletes. And we are going to start immediately with Saif Issa. Saif Issa, this Olympic champion who did it once again and who made history, clinching another gold which was not achieved in more than 28 years. And this was in China. Saif Issa, playing in the category under 87, clinched the gold medal at the World Taekwondo Championship in China on Sunday, defeating Italy's Simone Lisa in the final 2-1. The medal marks Egypt's first gold at a World Championship since 1997, when Tamer Abdelmenem won the under 70 kilogram category in Hong Kong. A total of 10 Egyptian athletes, 7 men and 3 women, are competing at the event, which runs until October 30th. The 27-year-old is one of Egypt's top athletes, having previously won a bronze medal at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and secured 2 World Championship bronze medals in 2022 in Mexico and in 2023 in Azerbaijan. Saif Issa is continuing what he has started before since he was a kid. And by the way, His Excellency Minister of Sports and Youth, Dr. Ashraf Subhi, congratulated Issa on the achievements, and he stressed that all what has been achieved by the Egyptian champions and athletes all over the world is going to be supported by the state in all domains. Congratulations, Saif, and we hope that you are going to continue with the same streak of victories. And promise that by the end of our episode, we are going to congratulate more Egyptian athletes who also raised the Egyptian flag and clinched more titles. But now we are going to go to football and to speak in particular about 2 important issues. The international arenas, and here we are going to go to La Liga, to El Clasico, which ended only a few hours ago, and to the African prestigious competitions in which our teams are participating. Before we start all this, let me first welcome my dear guest live here in the studio, our prominent sports analyst, Moe Mesbah. Hello, Mohammed, how are you?
Hello, nice to see you again.
Yes, long time no see, and let's start immediately as we do have a lot to speak about.
Sure.
How many opportunities did Kylian Mbappe miss in El Clasico in the 90 minutes, which I can consider as a marathon? And despite the 2-1 win for the Los Blancos, Kylian Mbappe on his own missed a lot,
yes,
and even a penalty.
Yeah.
Tell me your vision regarding El Clasico, and then we are going to go from the general to the specific.
Actually, it's very interesting because I think the record showing that during the last 19 years, actually no one actually made what he did today, that he's not scoring this penalty. I can say he's missing a golden opportunity because the world football mainly was focusing with Ronaldo and Messi. And now there is a golden opportunity for both, actually. I mean, Lamar and as well Mbappe. Both of them, they should focus to be a new era, actually, of, and I can see heroes of football. If he
You took Vinicius Jr. out of the calculations?
To somehow, yes, to be honest, because the world usually remembers the people who score goals. Even he's doing that, but he's not a main striker like both of them. If we are talking of 2 potentials to be another, I can say Messi and Ronaldo, this is the 2 actually should be like that. And this will play a very important role in marketing, planning for the football, and making propaganda for that. But to be honest, both of them are not utilizing the chance well.
Not utilizing the chance, or they should not compete on that level. Because when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, I think they raised the bar so high. I mean, I don't think that it's going to be that easy to find those 2 again, and to enjoy El Clasico once again with Real Madrid, Los Blancos, led by Ronaldo, and the Barças, led by Messi.
For a different reason, included marketing reasons and business reasons, we should have 2 more in the world. So it's not only about sports, it's about that the world needs 2 more actually like that. So just creating more propaganda, create more product, and creating more money, which is the main reason actually of raising even the number of teams participating in the World Cup to 48. Money at the end of the day, to be honest. So for this reason, they need to utilize the chance, because utilizing the chance, when you have the chance, and I can say the field is empty now for you guys to be actually in such type of position, you need to utilize that.
You took me into this comparison and I'm not going to miss it. Let me put my question in other words. Do you think that Lamine Yamal, despite his young age of course, and on the other hand Mbappe, can be compared by any means to Ronaldo and Messi?
Yes, to somehow, yes, because both actually are playing in a very big national teams, which is not in other players. So one playing in Spain and the other playing in France, which is a big team. So from national perspective, they can make a lot of glory. And from team perspective, they can make a glory. Sponsors are supporting them a lot. And again, the market is open. The market is free.
And Mr. Mesbah, Lamine Yamal used to leave the pitch before 11 just a few months ago,
yes,
because he was under 18.
Yeah.
And according to the laws, he was a kid.
Yeah.
So how I can let him shoulder this responsibility of being compared to the big Leo, who already extended, by the way, his contract with Inter Miami until 2028. Isn't it fair?
It is fair actually, because at the end of the day, we don't have a lot of talent to utilize now or to build on it. So based on that, this is the fact showing to us that this is the two talents we have in the world currently in terms of, I can say, superstar competing together. So this is, if you are thinking, even in the last competition, this is the two.
Let us implement this on the ground on tonight's match. Bellingham, Thibaut Courtois, I think he was barely tested,
yes,
despite the goal, I mean.
Exactly.
And in the same time, the comparison also is all the time found between the two coaches, not only the players. I mean, it's Alonso and Flick. It's what the players implemented on the ground according to the tactics or the instructions given to them by the coaches, isn't it?
Both actually was not doing good today, to be very open and frank about that. But the point here compared to the other player is the talent itself. So to make a star, a movie star, you need a kind of factors. Factors is not on everyone. So because you need actually someone talented, someone working in a big national team, and this is actually the material we have now to use, to be honest. Maybe tomorrow we can actually face a new face, but at this moment we have those two players that we can rely on. Even his young age, but he should be in that, and he should be coached well.
If you permit me to object here, I'm against the one-man show. I mean, this is a team playing together.
Sure.
And whenever there is harmony, and whenever there is tactics, and whenever there was Zinedine Zidane or Ancelotti, the case was different.
Totally.
La Liga was different.
Yes.
So here, I should not blame a side and leave the other.
Yeah, I totally agree on that, but I'm thinking on it from making a star shine point of view. Both had a good chance today, and they didn't utilize it, because this actually was the question in the beginning that he lost the opportunity. Yes, he did, but by not scoring, not only the penalty, by the way, but even other, because he was in offside a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
and this is not the first time.
Exactly.
Mbappe, in specific, I remember that in a match, I can't remember which match, he fell into the trap of the offside for 17 to 19 times.
Exactly. So it's not fair to be a talented person. I'm not utilizing your talent up and grow it. And if you return it back to the history, everybody start even from Messi and Ronaldo with the same level. They didn't grow up like to be Messi and Ronaldo, but they utilize the chance and grow. And both need to work in that, especially they are not that old. They're still young to do that. Yeah. So.
Have you expected that this is going to be the end of it? I mean, there are matches until the end of the first or the final whistle, you will not be able to judge or even to guess.
Yes.
Was El Clasico of today one of those?
I was expecting Barcelona to score actually, because they have a God gift, I can say, after Tabi actually missed his penalty. Yeah, so actually I was expecting them to return back, but this doesn't happen. But I can mention something, that the coaching, the field itself, it's something is very important. So they're playing with someone who's not close to them, because he's watching actually.
Well, Real moved to 27 points and there are 5 points to separate them from Barcelona. Do you think that those 5 points would give even sports analysts the idea that La Liga is going to be for Los Blancos, or it's too early to say?
It's too early to say that, especially in Spain and England, because both you can find a lot of competition and they have a lot of, I can say, teams with fans, so it doesn't work like that. Maybe if in another country, yes, but Spain and England, that's too early to judge that. Yeah.
Since you mentioned England, what's going on with Liverpool? I mean, as an Egyptian, I'm happy. I'm happy because of what? Because it's now very clear then if Mohamed Salah is not enjoying his level or his fine or in-form standard, all Liverpool is not in form or is not playing the same way. True?
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. He's not performing, but to be honest, if it's continued like that with the same coach, it will be a big problem. So one of the solutions that he may face if they decided to terminate the coach. Otherwise, he will be in trouble because, as it's known...
Then the question is, why slot is to continue?
Yes, this is actually an important question. Are there coach? The problem here is that Liverpool usually keeps the coach. This is one of the problems that during the past and the history showing that they keep the coach even if he's doing even if he's not doing well. But this coach is doing absolutely bad. So if they decide
despite last season's successes?
Yeah, but what's happened in the past, what's happened in the past. That's something ended where we are in the kind of situation. Football is not about the past glory. It's about now.
Let's focus on the important question. What's going on with Mo? Or these are ups and downs which can consider something normal happening to all players all over the world, whatever, if they are, of course, class A, class AAA, class AAA. It happens. Or there is something wrong, or he is not that much comfortable with what's going on around him. What?
Yeah, to be honest, if you are not comfortable with your coach, this is a big deal. So for him, it's a big deal. At the same time, we can't ignore that the age is playing a role as well. The team is supporting you or not is an important. So all those factors when it come together, so definitely you'll be down. So
here I'm not going to return back to El Clasico of today, but I'm going to speak about those 3 teams in specific. The transfer window is coming. So Real Madrid, Barcelona and Liverpool. Don't you think that they should do a lot to fill many gaps and to continue with the same streak and to compete once again on the titles of their leagues? I mean, here we're talking about Premier League and La Liga, the big ones.
Yes, I think it will happen, but at the end of the day, as you mentioned in the beginning, if the coach himself is one of the issues, it needs to be changed. And even we face it in the local market as well, or in Egypt. So it's the same concept. You need to build a kind of a lot of factors together. One of them is players, but at the end of the day, if they are bringing good players and the coach is the same, so you still have the same problem or the same pain. Real Madrid is the same, that the coach is new. So what's his strategy? Today we find that a lot of players are not happy.
You know, I'm speaking about this issue in specific because here there are 2 voices. A voice saying that you should give more chance to the coach and to continue and to wait until there is harmony and there is this coherence and cohesion among all the orchestra playing to find a melody, and others would say no, since the very first season we would know if this coach is integrated into this kind or his school is really working or no. Which is which?
And the sophisticated countries in football, they have criteria for that. So they have a kind of weight and they have a kind of element. They are putting it together. For example, the past experience, the relation, the survey they're doing, the previous history, and all of that will impact the decision. It's not a decision comes like with an unorganized way. So they have a kind of criteria, they have a kind of matrix for that, and wait. Based on that they decide. Because sometimes he's not doing well, but his potential.
Amen to that. But don't you think the comparisons, they are not fair at all times? I mean, shouldering the responsibility of coming after what Jurgen Klopp did with the Reds for years, after what Ancelotti did for years, and so on. Don't you think that this is one of the issues which should be taken into consideration while judging the coaches?
It's different between both. Real Madrid is all the time they're actually scoring goals and gain in the competition. So it's a different story with Ancelotti or before Ancelotti. Liverpool, it's different because people maybe don't know that in all his history, it's not the club who's only winning. Okay, even with Jurgen Klopp in the early days,
Yeah.
he didn't do that. So it's different. It's two different cases. With Real Madrid, we don't have time for that. If you are not winning, you will be out. But Liverpool, no, they have a long-term strategy because this is actually the side of the club and the financial situation for the club. We can't compete more than that because we can't fund, for example, like Manchester City in terms of buying players. So this is actually the idea of the two philosophies of the two clubs. Real Madrid, they can't win, but Liverpool, maybe they can because, as I mentioned, that they're not taking decision easily to terminate a contract.
Barthas, what should Flick do with his players just to get them out of this defeat and to think for or to plan for a better performance?
I think he will continue because he did work, because before he was actually responsible for this team, the situation was not wow, and he started to develop that. So I think especially the management in Barcelona is totally different than Real Madrid as well.
Sure.
They are more mature and they're more handling the situation different. I think they will keep him even if he didn't make an achievement because they're believing in him in a way or indifferent. So I think he's in all cases, yeah.
And now we are going to return to Africa. Al-Ahli, Al-Zamalek, Pyramids, Al-Ahli and Zamalek won, and they both moved to the 32 round in both competitions, whether in the Confederations Cup for Al-Zamalek, in the African Champions League for Al-Ahli, and it was very much surprising today with this draw of Pyramids against one of the Ethiopian rivals in the very same round of the African Champions League. But I will focus on Al-Ahli and Zamalek because of also the coaches. With Yannick Ferreira, Al-Zamalek is suffering. And I'm not going here to speak about the financial issues.
But it's important.
Okay, go ahead. You go ahead. I'm not going to speak about the financial
you know,
issues.
at the end of the day, the price is buying a quality. And if you're paying a small amount to get a coach, that's making, you know, to give a salary for a coach, there is a criteria and reasons for that. And there is an evaluation matter. It doesn't work like he deserves this because he's a nice guy, because he did something. So when you are paying this amount to the guy, I'm not expecting him to do a lot. When you decide to buy a car and you have a limited budget, don't expect this car to be wow, without mentioning
Mr.
names.
Mesbah, if anyone who do not know anything about what's going on in Zamalek, about the financial issues and all these struggles there, and he knew, or she knew, that Zamalek did it 7-0 on aggregate on one of the teams in Africa. Oh, this is great. This means that Zamalek is doing wow. But the case is not that way. But what about Juan Bezerra, and what about the other professionals who were included, in addition to the big experience of Abdullah Saeed, the Nassers, whether Maher or Mansi, you name it. This bundle can do something in the Confederations Cup, or if they continue this way, it's not going to work.
It will not work like that, because simply, at least you need to pay to the players, because it's not fair to make them playing without paying them. You should have a system to do that. At the end of the day, what do you expect from someone? His salary is, I think, 20k USD per month, which is a very 25. It's a very small amount, even for maybe for Egyptian coaches. So it's very, very small amount. Don't expect him to give you a very high quality of coaching. He did a mistake that people are not happy of Mohamed Said, and you put the guy in fire, for example. So the guy don't have experience to do it in that. But again, I'm not blaming the guy, to be honest, because when you actually hire someone with such type of salary and background, don't expect him to be a hero. So it's not about just bringing some. Otherwise, hire a good local talent. This may be another solution from beginning. But it's not only to be an expat. Expat means someone coming with a different experience, knowledge, technology, know-how, support system, so can add value to the team. So this actually, I can't blame the guy, because this is his size. Why we're expecting him to do more?
Despite the fact that this was not the case with this Ribeiro who came to Al-Ahli, he also failed. He came with a CV, and it was studied, and he was paid a lot, but he did catastrophic he had a catastrophic period with Cairo Red Devils. So is it about the CV or the money paid, or about the criteria, about the level of the coach?
You know, here, you know, sometimes we are emotional in seeing this, because at the end of the day, it's a budget. Al Ahly budget for a coach is like $3 million per year, almost. Okay,
Yeah.
so with this amount, we can't bring a category A coach, or even B. So we are searching for category C. Here we have a different options. We should have a criteria to do that, and we should have a system. Repair was a high risk, to be honest, very high risk to do that. So it's a kind of gambling, and when you gamble, maybe you lose, and this is what's happened with him. At the end of the day, you bring someone, his history was not wow, and at the end of the day, he didn't make a great achievement with his previous team, while actually he's not actually in the with the British or Spanish team. He's just with the South African team. So at the end of the day, it's a very high risk.
Just as Mosimani, but Mosimani
Exactly.
achieved a lot with Al Ahly. So as you said, it was
It's a gambling. It's a gambling.
And Mosimani won, Ribeiro failed,
Exactly.
and that's it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go to what's going on today and with Yes Thorough.
It's different.
Okay, let me know how
It's
do you see
different.
Yes
Because
Thorough.
this gentleman, first, he have an experience dealing with a different international teams. Let's say like that. The personality and the profile himself is a solid. You know, people maybe don't know that a lot. People from Denmark mainly, while it's a very sophisticated country, they are tough people. So they can deal with the different situations in a very hard way. This is how the people grow in this country.
Like the German school?
Yes, somehow, to be
Okay.
honest. So they're not like Norway people or Iceland, no. While all of them is the same zone, but people coming from countries different. He was in Germany and he was in Belgium. And people maybe don't know that as well, that Belgium, the competition is very high in football. People
Yes.
love football. While their actually league is not that famous like others, but the competition there is very. So at least to have a reference there. We can say, with the budget you have, you bring someone is fit based on his experience. Yes, the Ahly fans expecting better. But with the budget, you can't bring better, to be honest. You, with the budget you have, which is $3 million per year, even if you can go to any international website for coaches and check the prices, you will not find one of the names we hear about with $3 million per year. So at the end of the day, it looks like a logical choice rather than repair, to be honest. So from my perspective, the only one high risk on it, that he don't have experience at all in the Middle East or
In
Arab.
Africa or in the Middle East, yes.
Even Arab. The other solution that they usually, it can be a good solution with $3 million, you bring someone had an experience in the Gulf region and bring him to the Ahly. Okay, so it's two schools here. I can say there is one wrong and one right, but this is the two direction. Go for someone with a good CV, not wow CV, with a good CV, already have a kind of standard on his philosophy of actually coaching, or bring someone had an achievement in the Gulf.
You know, Mr. Mesbah, the press conferences after the matches are very important to know the personality of the coach. And in the last two press conferences, I mean here in the African competition, because of course this is more important, or at least this is the, let's say, the real test which he faced after shouldering the responsibility of Al Ahly. He said that a day after the other, I do understand and I learn a lot. And this is something which I think, in my humble opinion, a very much positive sign when it comes to a new coach, as you've kindly mentioned, coming for the first time to this area. Would you please, I want you to elaborate on that.
And even in the last match, when he was discussing with Adel Mustafa and Walid Salah al-Din, while he have already his own team, because he's a humble guy, he understands those people already with the team for a period. So he was talking with the two Egyptian partners with him, while he has already four. Already maybe he can use them. So this showing a kind of person. I'm not saying he's a great guy or a bad guy, but I think that at least he have a kind of sense of what he's doing. But he will learn, because he will learn more the psychology of dealing with the Egyptian player, the basics that he already missing here, that he need to understand.
Something missing here. It was such a bad luck to lose Imam Ashur, for example, because of injury, and Abdelmanam is already gone, and there was such big issues and big gaps in the defense. Who is the main striker? Because unfortunately, Mohammed Sharif, after his return, and Gradishar did not prove that they can fit for the positions. Here, if because there are rumors or media reports speaking about the return of Abdelmanam to Al Ahly, and with signing new players in different positions in Al Ahly in January. Do you think that this is going to make it fit for Yesrop to show his talent and to make out of this squad a big team to compete for the 13th title of the African Champions League?
He needs to work very fast on that, and this is actually the big challenge, because again, he's the guy, he didn't used to win everything. Even if he making the press conference statement and that this is my goal, but he didn't do that before. So the competition now of achieving in a limited time. Numbers in his side, because the 3 matches he won, which is something very positive in his side. But he needs to act very fast in fixing that. He needs to understand that playing in Africa is different. Even he told them it's not the first time in Africa, but it's the reality, it's the first time to play there, because he's only in a camp with his previous team in South Africa before. So it's, in terms of time, it's very important that you work fast on that. For sure, Abdelmanam will add a value. His Abdelmanam profile is not a person who's interested to return back to Egypt, but maybe it's a situation that this is the only option he has now, so maybe he's returning back. This is a good opportunity. And rumors saying that he's bringing in a couple of players from actually previous teams, about 20 years old, that maybe in the first team for Ali.
There are media reports about Asad al-Hamalawi, the Palestinian striker, who is not going to be included as a foreigner, so is not going to take a place of a pro, about Mohammed Abdelmanam, and about 2 defenders.
Yes.
Okay. This is going to be the whole issue.
Yeah.
Enough?
It will be enough, because he did something that's very important, that controlling the team is a key. So when you're, to be honest, we missed this in the past before, this gentleman. This guy is very clear that I have a statement and I'm very straightforward in that, and you can realize that in the reactions of people leaving actually the field when they're making. In the past they're not accepting that because they're thinking they're a king. Now they are believing that this coach can terminate me anytime. They can ask the club to end my contract. He don't look to such type of media or all of that. He's focused on what he's doing.
I ask these questions because I want to know, in your opinion, when I can judge or evaluate a coach, after how many matches, after how many seasons even, just to make sure that stability is going to be one of the factors behind the success of any team.
This is the problem actually Real Madrid and Ahly are usually facing, because we don't have a patient fans here in doing that, and they have the right, because you used to win. This is actually the main challenge that normally you just you can give him up to 6 months. Even after the first transfer in January, you need to give. But this doesn't work well with Al Ahly or Real Madrid or such teams, which is used to win in all cases. And this is actually the personality and the psychology part of the coach himself. If he needs to understand that. And part of the preparation to select the coach is to explain that very well. That we have impatient actually fans, and you need to act very fast to achieve, otherwise you will be out.
But you know, Al Ahly fans are speaking about the coaching staff. I mean, with the return of Sayyid Abdel Hafiz, with the presence of Mustafa and Salah ad-Din, now they feel a little bit safe and secure.
That's true.
And knowing well that Yestrop is going to listen to them, and if he really listened to them and get the experience from them, this is going to be the key. True?
That's true. That's absolutely true. And this is what he was doing yesterday. He was discussing with both, especially both are previously played football, so and they're connected with the player. So this will support him definitely in achieving that. The time is the key on that. That if he's achieving in a very short period and making a success with his profile, he can create a glory, because people will not accept anything. Otherwise, if they're, I can say, performing in the way that the fans expected and even not winning, this will give him chance. But otherwise, he will be in trouble, yeah, to be honest.
Many also analysts are speaking whether for Al-Ahli or Zamalek about looking to the juniors? Why are you all the time looking at the professionals coming from all over the world, or just having this musical seats? Oh, this is a Zamalek player, now he's going to be an Ahli player, or vice versa. Where are the juniors, or why there are academies for those teams who should be all the time producing new talents to join, and also to be for the best interest of our national team? We are going to go to the World Cup, so we should have a base. And we should have this base to make sure that we are not going to go to America, Canada, and Mexico just to participate and that's it. No, to go forward.
You know, to be honest, this is actually a culture issue. Because in Egypt, you just mentioned that the guy is 17 years old, I mean, Yamal, so this is a very young guy, but he's achieving. And people considering him as a superstar. But in Egypt, usually we consider the guy still young till he reaches 24. Like, for example, they're still talking about Mustafa Shubair as a young guy. And he's not a young guy. This is the culture and psychology of the people.
But not anymore.
Till now, they're considering him, oh, he's still young. He's not young, guys. Now,
young as a goalkeeper, because the goalkeepers, the goalkeeper's age category is different. I mean, we look at the goalkeepers, it's easy to find a goalkeeper playing until he is 40 or 40 plus. But to have the same with other players in other positions, this is a little bit difficult. Not all people are Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, or Abdullah Said.
We need to educate our youth that when you reach 16 or 17, that you should be ready to be with the first team, scoring goals, be important, not just showing your face. And it's high risk. So the decision of taking a high risk and losing, it's a risk on the coach. So why should I do that? And losing my job? This is how the cooks think. And I'm not here, to be honest, to grow the country. It's not my job. My job is to win. And I get paid for that. So let's think about it. It's a more practical way. So now with the psychology of the youth in Egypt, that okay, I still have a chance, I'm 18 or 19, this is not making them making an effective impact when they join. Okay, and it happened a lot with Al-Ahli even. They tried before, and they're not. The only one who's actually is achieving well in his age is Muhammad Abdullah. From all youth in Ahli, I can't remember another name. While we have potential name, and when they have a chance, they're not. Al-Ahli tried before to make them joining, I think one of the Hamza and different players. And even Ali tried to make them participate in one of the competitions, non-official competition, and they didn't show their faces in a good way. So they did well. Okay, so they are not serious enough to be in the first team. So it's not only about the coach, it's about the psychology of youth and how we grow them. We grow them that you need to be an excellent player where you are 24, 25. No, you can start with 17 or 18 and compete. Maybe you're not. Maybe you can be a good second option, but you are not even a good second option. So we can't rely on it. The only name that is really deserving the Ahli chance to do that is Muhammad Abdullah.
And what about Mohamed Shahata for Zamalek?
Mohamed Shahata for Zamalek, yeah, that's true. But it's in very individual cases.
I am here looking for Egyptian names to be included into the national team squad, because now if I should look to Al-Ahli, Al-Zamalek, Al-Masri, Al-Ismaili, unfortunately with what's going on in Al-Ismaili, here I'm talking about the popular teams, Hussam Hassan should be there behind curtains looking at all of them and knowing well who should be instead of who, to make sure that all positions are filled with big names to represent Egypt in the World Cup. Isn't it true?
To be frank and very honest on that, any coach in the world, his aim is to win, even Hussam Hassan. And if I have 1, 2, 3, 4 options, I will use 1, 2, 3, and then 4 maybe as an use, one of the use, I can rely on him.
I'm saying this also because we do have other similar experience. Kirouche was the one who got, or who had a scouting eye to bring Mohamed Abdel Menem and Marwan Atiyah.
But they are not used. They are good player, but not young, to be honest. Marwan, at this, maybe Abdel Menem is younger, but at this time they are a good player, but no one seeing them. But from
early 20s.
I think Marwan is older.
No, then.
Yeah, at this time, yeah.
Showed
At this
them
time, yeah.
they were in the early 20s.
Yes, but at least both are participating. Both are joining the first team of their team at this time. But now, only Mohamed Shahata and even Abdullah is not one of the 11 main players in Al Ahly. So it's a big. But both at this time was one of the first team players.
Mr. Mesbah, I found that the one who wore the captaincy sign in Al Ahly's latest game, with all my respect, was Ahmed Ramadan Baker.
Because the system is like that. Who should, at the end of the day, something get refused by Manuel Jose at this time, that he mentioned that I don't like this way of selecting a captain, and it should be by maturity and leadership, which is my opinion is the right way to do that. Because if you joined at 11 and you moved to the wall and you come back to be a captain, it doesn't make any sense for me. It makes sense, it's the coach select someone based on his leadership capabilities and based on his influence skill and based on his achievement previously. Not because you just joined before me. This is maybe in another actually business, not the football. Yeah.
One final question. I have only 1 minute. Al Zamalek, Al Ahly, Pyramids. Do you think that they are going to continue with winning streak, and any of them is going to clinch the title, whether of the Confederations Cup or the Champions League?
I think for Ahly and Pyramids, because they have a good infrastructure, they have a good system, yes. As the Zamalek, they need, if something happened from the financial part, maybe it can, maybe changing the code, maybe something else.
We all wish the best of luck for all our teams in the African competitions. Mr. Moe Mesbah, our sports analyst, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And now I'm going to leave you, as I promised in my intro, with another victory for the Egyptian athletes, and this time it's squash, and especially in Philadelphia. The world number one, Mustafa Asal, and the world number one also, Hania Al-Hamami, they did it, and they clinched the title of the US Open 2025. And congratulations to them, and we hope that we are going to continue with the same streak of victories with the squash, and to make sure that this is going to be a warning and alarm from all of us to all who is going to participate in the coming Olympic Games. The coming Olympic Games is going to witness the joining of squash, so inshallah we are going to be on top. Let's watch what took place in the United States, in Philadelphia, in the US Open. And many thanks for watching. Till we meet again same time on Nile TV International. We promise that we are going to bring you the latest of the Egyptian successes in the world of sports in general. Many thanks for watching. This was Nurmeen Abdurrahman. And Hania Al-Hamami won the men's and women's titles at the US Open Squash 2025 in Philadelphia, taking both championships for Egypt in the tournament's closing finals. In the women's draw, world number 2 Hania Al-Hamami of Wadi Dikla claimed her first US Open title, defeating compatriot and world number 3 Amina Orfi in straight games. Al-Hamami won 11-9, 12-10, 12-10 in a 57-minute final. The result marked her third consecutive title in her career. In the men's final, world number 1 Mustafa Asal beat New Zealand Paul Cole 3-0, closing out the match 11-9, 11-3, 11-3 in 58 minutes to secure what was described as his 14th major title. His path to the final included a semi-final victory over fellow Egyptian Youssef Ibrahim, who delivered one of the tournament's most dramatic moments. In his quarter-final match against Joel McKean, Ibrahim dislocated his shoulder mid-match, reset himself, and went on to reach the semi-finals. The United States Open is one of the leading events on the Professional Squash Association's calendar.